Well, good evening to everybody. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody had a good day. The weather was fantastic after a chilly start this morning. A little frosty out there. Temperatures got down, I think Fort Payne got down to like 33 this morning. Eric Burke texted me to let me know. And but we rebounded nicely. Got back into the 60s. Not much wind. It was pretty nice. Lots of sunshine. The evening's been great. A little cool. Temperatures have dropped pretty fast, but that was expected. And pretty much trick-or-treating should just about be over now, and now it's just getting ready for the weekend. Sunshine galore today, not going to be the case at least Saturday. A lot of clouds, and then we got some showers Saturday night. Should end Sunday morning. We'll get back into some sunshine Sunday afternoon, but it's going to be really cool Sunday afternoon. There's another reinforcing shot of colder air coming in with a very weak frontal boundary, at least in terms of rainfall, but it does keep things quite chilly as we go into Sunday afternoon, Sunday night with moderating temperatures for next week. And I mentioned this on air with Margot last night. We were talking about how we're closing out October and beginning November very chilly. Some of the long-term forecast runs have us really heating up at the end of the month of November. We'll see how it plays out, but right now it's definitely not hot. Certainly not heating up outside now, just the opposite. Temperatures are in the 40s now for everybody. In some areas in the low 40s, like Coleman and Fort Payne and even Pulaski. And it's a timing mechanism on where these temperatures are going to end up, because what's happening is that next weather maker, that reinforcing shot of colder air that's coming in, is part of a frontal boundary that's to our west. And it's now just a race on how fast those clouds get here tonight. If the clouds get here, which it looks like they're going to sometime around 1 or 2 o'clock, your temperature drop will stop. And then again, I said this last night, clouds act like a blanket to keep you cozy and warm. And if you can get the clouds in here, it will stop the drop. In fact, some areas west of I-65 may actually go up a degree or two after about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So what that means for you at home, it means that instead of falling all the way back in the low to mid-30s like we did this morning with some areas, we should stop the drop and therefore settle right around 40 degrees. Still chilly, don't get me wrong, but I've taken the wording of frost out and added a little fog potential for areas east of I-65. I don't think any freezing fog or anything like that, but that's one adjustment I made for the forecast tonight, is not word frost as much, because I think the clouds will help us out a bit. So temperatures right now in the 40s. They'll still fall a few degrees. We're not done yet. But I don't know why there's a little rain icon in that. That should just be mostly cloudy. I have increasing clouds, patchy fog. There's no rain tonight, everybody. I don't know why that's doing that. Our forecast editor that we play around with, when it gets towards the daylight saving time ending, it does some wacky things. And it had like our 10-day forecast like completely was manipulated and had all the days wrong on it. We had Eric had to adjust it this morning, and yeah, so some random rain shower that's not coming tonight. It's just cloudy. And then for tomorrow, a lot of cloud cover through the day. If you have plans during the day, I don't think you're going to be dealing with any rainfall, just going to be a lack of sunshine. Still manage some low 60s. And then, of course, daylight saving time ends. The clocks will fall back an hour. We'll have some showers Saturday night. They'll linger into Sunday morning. Forecast models mainly have the rain out by like 8, 9 o'clock. There's a few forecast models that keep a shower or two for areas east to about noon or 1 o'clock. But I do think that by the time we get to the afternoon, rain should be out, and we probably will pop a little sunshine. But that 56 on Sunday, that temperature is dropping in the afternoon. Winds pick up. It'll be quite cool as we go into Sunday afternoon. And, of course, the sun will set before 5 p.m. And then once the sun goes down and the winds back off, temperatures will really cool off, and there'll be another frosty start to the day on Monday with temperatures that will be likely in the 30s. I'll take it full so you can see it a little bit better. But once we get past that chilly morning on Monday, it turns out to be a pretty nice afternoon. Another chilly night Monday night, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday kind of rocking it there. 60s to near 70. I have a rain icon, which I do want in the forecast there for Saturday, but some of the forecast models throwing some rain in here like Friday evening into Friday night and Saturday morning. So could easily put a 20% for Friday just to cover our behinds for the nighttime hours. But overall, though, real quiet pattern. And those temperatures that are 60s to around 70 is pretty much exactly where it should be for this time of year. So after that dip in temperature Sunday, it gets back to what we'd expect for this time of year with those high temperatures in the 60s to near 70 degrees. So quiet pattern. We've had some decent rainfall recently. Besides a little light showers this weekend, doesn't look like much. And next week, even the Friday and Saturday rainfall doesn't look like much. It looks like an extended stretch for 10 days of more dry than wet for sure. But really delightful weather to kick off the month of November. Just a few FYIs is the full moon, the beaver moon, will be on Wednesday. I do believe it's the 5th. Is that the 5th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And also there are 2 meteor showers. The Taurids get excited in November, and the southern and northern Taurids. They peak on the 5th and 9th, and with coinciding with a full moon on Wednesday, probably not the best look. It'd be clear at night. And if you're a go-getter and you love looking at the meteor showers, and there's some of you out there that ask me about them all the time, when's the next meteor shower? Sometimes when you have a full moon, it can be a little difficult to see because it's more illuminated in the sky. If you have a new moon and it's darker, you have a better backdrop for these meteor showers that you can see. But I think it's Wednesday, and then next Sunday are the 2 meteor showers. It's when they peak. There's still like chances to see them each and every night this week, but those would be the best 2 nights, so to speak. Yeah, you can see them. You get to like a really dark area. Allow yourself like a time for your eyes to adjust to the darkness, and you can get some good looks, especially when you get away from the light pollution of a city. If you live in a more rural area, it's very easy to catch them. And you can see a lot of them up in the sky. The Taurids are pretty good. I always find them to be one of the better shows of the year. But obviously the full moon being on Wednesday may take a little bit of that away just because it's a little harder to see with so much light in the sky. But always something to look at. Hurricane Melissa making national news this past week. Landfall Jamaica, Cat 5. Heavy rain for Haiti. It goes to show you too, one thing. All the reports now coming in of what Melissa did and starting to see more in the way of damage reports. And it seems like each passing hour we're finding more and more information out from areas that were ravaged by the hurricane itself. Goes to show you too, you don't have to have a direct hit from a hurricane. Jamaica was obviously the island that made the most news because it made landfall. But Haiti was like well to the east, and a lot of damage in Haiti with some heavy rainfall, maybe not the strongest winds, but torrential rainfall. And you have some elevation in these areas, like especially in Haiti, and you can get some incredibly heavy rain totals that produce mudslides. And that's exactly what happened there. Eastern Cuba, the Bahamas had some damage, and then the storm went racing by Bermuda last night. I didn't see much in the way of reports from damage in Bermuda. I think it might have been just a little more west. And now it's post-tropical and sitting up in the North Atlantic. Some of the moisture is tied into an occluded front into the New England area, but the main post-tropical low pressure is going to actually, I do believe, continue north up towards Iceland as we go into this weekend. Maybe eventually bring some rain there. Not a hurricane, but bring some rain. But yeah, powerful hurricane though. The hurricane season, besides Melissa, has been active in terms of names, but that was probably the most, by far, the most devastating tropical system that we had so far this hurricane season, which goes all the way until the end of this month of November. November 30th is when the hurricane season comes to an end, but you can have named systems outside of the hurricane season. So like you get to December, you get these rogue storms in the Atlantic and they have a tropical feature, boom, they get a name. I think it was a couple of years ago, Bethel or something had a name in January. There was an A and a B like in January and February. It was like 5 years ago. So it can happen. But yeah, the tropics overall, I think in the lower 48, obviously a big sigh of relief this year. There was very aggressive forecast for the hurricanes, a lot of name systems, but not much of an impact. I think that the remnants of what was once Tropical Storm Barry is probably going to go down in the books as what caused, obviously, the most, unfortunately, the most fatalities and also the most damage in the lower 48 of the U.S. And that was back when July 4th weekend when all that flooding took place in Texas. And there was some damage on the Outer Banks in North Carolina with a couple of hurricanes that went out to sea, and there was enough wave action that took out some of the houses right on the Outer Banks. I mean, they build in the ocean, so sometimes it's a little tough when you get some impressive surge that it can take out some of the houses, and it did that. I think Aaron did that. But overall, though, kind of quiet, at least in the U.S. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Melissa, though, for sure. All right, I'm going to get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. I go home, I take like a 3-hour nap, and I get back up, and I come back, and then I will be with you bright-eyed at Bushy-Tail tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., and I'll be tracking probably some chilly temperatures and maybe a little fog, and then Jada will be in at night. I'll be back Sunday morning. Jada will be in Sunday night, and the two of us will have you covered over the weekend. Pretty quiet weather pattern. And, yeah, just keep an eye on those showers Saturday night. That's about it to really track. And the beautiful November weather next week. I mean, as many of you know, I love to play pickleball. Next week has pickleball written all over it. At least one of those days, going to be outside. Go try to pick the day that's not as windy. Try to play pickleball in the wind. It can be a bit difficult, but I'm sure I'll drag Eric Burke out to the court, and we'll get some of our friends to go and hang out and get a little exercise in and hit the pickleball around the court and get some exercise, which is a good thing. It's the best part about living down here in the Deep South. The Tennessee Valley is awesome. I love the fact that I can go into November and have a 60 or 70 degree day and not think anything about it because it's about where it should be for this time of year. And I do like the fact that I could still be outside and enjoy some time outdoors. So everybody have a great night. Hopefully you'll join us at 10 o'clock. And we'll see you then. If not, I'll catch you tomorrow morning. And everybody have a good night. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween.